the floor where they drop like bombs. Faceless voices running all the cons. Digital whispers in a binary night. No light, no face, pure sound, no sight. Stories unfold in the dark, unscrolled. Echoes of silence, secrets untold. Waves crash loud in this audio cave. No mic, no fame, just the sound we crave. Tune and turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just a vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. In shadows, voices untamed. No need for spotlight, no claim to fame. Just a beat of life in a stream of thought. Every word a punchline, no need to be taught. Just listen close, no visuals needed. Raw conversation, unprocessed, unseated. Feel the pulse in every sentence said. No distractions, just thoughts in your head. Whispers of the streets, rumbling through. Faceless yet vivid, a world in view. No mic, just souls, connecting in flow. Pure and raw, let the rhythm go.
In the performance of an elocutionary act in the literal utterance of a sentence, the speaker intends to produce a certain effect by means of getting the hearer to recognize his intention to produce that effect, and furthermore, if he is using the words literally, he intends this recognition to be achieved in virtue of the fact that the rules for using the expressions he utters associate the expression with the production of that effect. p. 45. John Searle is a prominent American philosopher whose influential work spans the philosophy of language, philosophy of mind, and social ontology. His early contributions were primarily in the philosophy of language. Searle posited that speaking a language is a rule-governed form of behavior, much like playing chess, and that utterances perform specific actions. He categorized these elocutionary acts into 5 types: assertive stating facts, directives giving commands or requests, commissives making commitments like promises, expressives expressing feelings, and declarations bringing about a change in reality by the utterance itself. John Rogers Searle was born on July 31, 1932, in Denver, Colorado. His family background offered a blend of scientific and practical sensibilities. His mother, Hester Beck Searle, was a medical doctor, and his father, G.W. Searle, was an electrical engineer employed by AT&T Corporation. This upbringing, particularly his father's profession, may have influenced Searle's later engineering approach to philosophical problems, as he has described it, seeking solutions grounded in real-world facts and observable phenomena. The family moved several times during his early life, eventually settling in Shorewood, Wisconsin, where Searle graduated from Shorewood High School. During his high school years, he developed a lifelong passion for skiing, a pursuit he continues to enjoy. Searle began his higher education at the University of Wisconsin, Madison. While an undergraduate, he demonstrated an early engagement with political and social issues, serving as Secretary of Students against Joseph McCarthy during McCarthy's time as the junior senator from Wisconsin. This early involvement hints at a pragmatic and socially conscious streak that would later manifest in his philosophical work on social institutions. In his junior year at the University of Wisconsin, in 1952, Searle was awarded the prestigious Rhodes Scholarship, which brought him to Oxford University. His time at Oxford was formative, lasting for 7 years, during which he earned his Bachelor of Arts BA with first-class honors in 1955, and subsequently his Master of Arts MA and Doctor of Philosophy DPhil in 1959. During his doctoral studies, he also held his first faculty position as a lecturer at Christ Church College, Oxford. The concept of felicity conditions in speech act theory was first introduced by J.L. Austin in his 1962 book, How to Do Things with Words, while John Searle significantly developed and refined speech act theory, particularly in his 1969 book Speech Acts. The fundamental notion of felicity and its conditions originated with Austin. Searle built upon Austin's work, including the concept of conditions that must be met for a speech act to be successful felicitous. At Oxford, Searle was deeply influenced by the ordinary language philosophy prevalent at the time, particularly the work of J.L. Austin. Austin's emphasis on how language is used in everyday contexts, and his groundbreaking work on speech acts, laid the groundwork for Searle's own seminal contributions to the philosophy of language. While Searle later distinguished himself from some aspects of this tradition, his early work, especially his dissertation on the theory of descriptions and proper names, showed an incipient interest in speech acts that would blossom into his groundbreaking book Speech Acts, an essay in the philosophy of language 1969. This period at Oxford, under the guidance of figures like Austin, critically shaped Searle's initial philosophical trajectory, emphasizing the centrality of language to understanding human thought and action. Following his foundational 1969 work, Speech Acts, John Searle's philosophical inquiries expanded significantly, venturing into the intricate realms of the philosophy of mind and social ontology, all while continuing to refine his initial theories on language. His overarching philosophical stance is characterized by a firm commitment to common-sense realism and a consistent rejection of reductionist explanations, particularly concerning the mind and consciousness. A major pivot in Searle's post-1969 intellectual journey led him deeply into the philosophy of mind. He contended that a comprehensive grasp of language necessitates an understanding of the underlying mental states. This conviction culminated in some of his most impactful contributions, notably his 1983 book, Intentionality. In this seminal work, Searle meticulously argued that intentionality, the inherent property of mental states such as beliefs, desires, and intentions to be about or directed towards something in the world, is a fundamental characteristic of conscious experience. He posited that the very structure of language is not only derived from but also mirrors the intricate architecture of intentional thought. He further explored the conditions of satisfaction and direction of fit inherent in intentional states, drawing clear parallels with his earlier analysis of speech acts. For instance, beliefs exhibit a mind-to-world fit, while desires and intentions demonstrate a world-to-mind fit. Perhaps Searle's most widely recognized and debated contribution to this field arrived in 1980 with his Chinese room argument, a thought experiment designed to directly challenge the strong artificial intelligence AI hypothesis. This hypothesis posits that a meticulously programmed computer could genuinely possess a mind and understanding. Searle's thought experiment invites us to imagine a person, entirely ignorant of Chinese, confined to a room. From outside, native Chinese speakers pass in Chinese characters as input. Inside the room, the person relies on an English rulebook, essentially a program, dictating how to manipulate these symbols and generate corresponding Chinese symbols as output. To the outside observers, the room, or the person within, appears to comprehend Chinese, as the outputs are coherent responses to the inputs. Searle's crucial point is that the person inside is merely manipulating symbols based on their syntax form, utterly devoid of any understanding of their semantics meaning. He therefore concluded that if the person lacks understanding, then a computer, simply by running a program, likewise lacks genuine understanding, as computers are fundamentally symbol manipulators. Thus, for Searle, syntax alone is insufficient for authentic understanding or consciousness. This argument has since spawned an immense body of literature and remains a central point of contention in ongoing discussions about AI, consciousness, and the very nature of mental states. As an affirmative account of consciousness, Searle proposed biological naturalism. He argued that consciousness is a biological phenomenon, an emergent, higher-level property of brain processes, much like digestion is a biological process of the stomach. He steadfastly maintained that consciousness is a real, subjective, first-person phenomenon that resists reduction to or elimination by purely physical or computational explanations, yet it is entirely caused by and realized within the brain. He emphasized that while consciousness is a natural biological occurrence, its subjective, first-person nature means it cannot be fully captured by solely third-person, objective scientific methods. This perspective was further elaborated in his 1992 work, The Rediscovery of the Mind, where he continued his arguments against various forms of materialism and reductionism in the philosophy of mind, championing the irreducible nature of consciousness and intentionality. Beyond the mind, Searle extended his philosophical analysis of constitutive rules that define or create new forms of behavior, rather than merely regulating existing ones, akin to the rules governing a game of chess from speech acts to the broader domain of social institutions and reality. This exploration culminated in his 1995 book, The Construction of Social Reality. In this work, Searle meticulously examined how objective social facts such as money, governments, marriage, property, and institutions are brought into existence and sustained by human beings. He posited that these social facts are forged through collective intentionality and the imposition of status functions, collectively recognized functions or powers attributed to objects or individuals that they could not perform based solely on their physical properties. For example, a piece of paper X functions as money Y because a group of people collectively accept that it holds the function of money within a specific context C. This X counts as Y in C formula became a central tenet of his theory of social reality. He further refined and expanded upon these ideas in his 2010 book, Making the Social World. While speech acts laid the groundwork for his theory, Searle continued to elaborate and refine his understanding of speech acts. His 1979 collection of essays, Expression and Meaning, Studies in the Theory of Speech Acts, further developed his taxonomy of elocutionary acts: assertives, directives, commissives, expressives, and declarations, and delved into the distinctions between a speaker's meaning and the meaning of a sentence itself. He also collaborated with Daniel van der Weken on Foundations of Elocutionary Logic in 1985, an endeavor to provide a more formalized and logical framework for speech act theory. Notably, Searle also engaged in a prominent and often contentious debate with the deconstructionist philosopher Jacques Derrida concerning Austin's and Searle's theories of speech acts, particularly regarding the role of iteration and context in meaning. Beyond these core areas, Searle also contributed to other philosophical domains. His 2001 work, Rationality in Action, explored the nature of rationality, specifically practical reason, and challenged conventional models of human action. Later, in 2015, he published Seeing Things as They Are, A Theory of Perception, a dedicated work on the philosophy of perception. He continues to be associated with discussions on consciousness, free will, and rationality, and his work in the philosophy of mind, language, and social institutions remains influential. He has participated in interviews and discussions, for instance, on platforms like Closer to Truth, where he discusses topics such as the philosophy of science and consciousness. According to Searle, then, there is no more a mind-body problem than there is a microeconomics problem. They are different levels of description of the same set of phenomena. But Searle is careful to maintain that the mental, the domain of qualitative experience and understanding, is autonomous and has no counterpart on the micro level. Any redecryption of these macroscopic features amounts to a kind of evisceration. Joshua Rust, John Searle 2009. There is probably no more abused a term in the history of philosophy than representation, and my use of this term differs both from its use in traditional philosophy and from its use in contemporary cognitive psychology and artificial intelligence. The sense of representation in question is meant to be entirely exhausted by the analogy with speech acts. The sense of represent in which a belief represents its conditions of satisfaction is the same sense in which a statement represents its conditions of satisfaction. To say that a belief is a representation is simply to say that it has a propositional content and a psychological mode. p. 12. John Searle has received a number of significant awards and honors throughout his distinguished career in philosophy. These include, Rhodes Scholarship, awarded to him in his junior year at the University of Wisconsin, allowing him to study at Oxford University. Guggenheim Fellowship for Humanities, US and Canada implied from Google search snippet, though specific year not detailed in top results. Jean Nicod Prize 2000, this prestigious international award recognizes outstanding work in philosophy of mind and philosophically relevant cognitive science. National Humanities Medal 2004, a high honor in the United States, recognizing individuals or groups whose work has deepened the nation's understanding of the humanities and broadened citizens' engagement with history, literature, languages, philosophy, and other humanities subjects. 1. This was awarded by President George W. Bush. Mind and Brain Prize 2006, awarded in recognition of his outstanding contributions to the philosophy of mind. Humboldt Research Award mentioned as being received from Ruhr-Universität Bochum. Election to the American Philosophical Society 2010. Distinguished Teaching Award from the University of California, Berkeley. Faculty Research Lecturer position at Berkeley, which is considered the highest award given by the Berkeley faculty. He has also received 5 honorary doctorate degrees from 4 different countries.
Mics on the floor where they drop like bombs. Faceless voices running all the cons. Digital whispers in a binary night. No light, no face, pure sound, no sight. Stories unfold in the dark unscrolled. Echoes of silence, secrets untold. Waves crash loud in this audio cave. No light, no fame, just the sound we crave. Tune in, turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just the vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. Hidden in shadows, voices untamed. No need for spotlight, no claim to fame. Just the beat of life in a stream of thought. Every word a punchline, no need to be taught. Just listen close, no visuals needed. Raw conversation, unprocessed, unseated. Feel the pulse in every sentence said. No distractions, just thoughts in your head. Whispers of the streets, rumbling through. Faceless yet vivid, a world in view. No mic, just souls, connecting in flow. Pure and raw, let the rhythm go. Pure and raw. And feel. Tune in, turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just the vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. Pure and raw. Day.